State, and they came out and aired it out with Higgins and Knoll, right? Maybe we'll see a little bit of that.
Caden Weegan back deep. He is scary as a returner. Won't get a chance. Ball skips out of bounds, and it'll be great starting field position for the Hawkeyes.
Free kick out of bounds.
Tim Lester has
kicking team number 69. The ball replaced from 35-yard line. First down.
That is today's referee, Jim Wary. So good starting field position for the Iowa Hawkeyes under graduate student Mark Gronowski's watchful eye. He'll break that huddle for the first time as a Hawkeye. Legendary career, 55 games, 49 wins at the FCS level, playing at South Dakota State.
Well, he's a great talent, no question about that. But the issue is, can he perform at that consistent level at the Big Ten level? This is a big stage for him, but you know what? Demonstrability produces confidence, and he's certainly done that. A two-time champion at the FCS level.
He's actually played in this building before. As a Jackrabbit, South Dakota State actually lost, but just barely, by a couple of points against Iowa. That's a couple of years ago. First snap of the game, pitch out, Kamari Moulton. He's going to be a big part of their offense. Good gain on first down.
Yeah, that's a good 10-yard gain. And yesterday we had a chance to talk to Kamari. Pardon, one of the things that we see from him is what you just saw in that play. The ability to stretch a defense and then cut underneath some of those big offensive linemen that are in front of him. If he can continue to hone his ability to discern what's happening and assist his linemen as he runs, even though their backs are to him, he can help them by setting up blocks.
Interesting to note that he ran behind his new left tackle, Trevor Lauk, getting the start. There was an open battle for the left tackle spot all camp long. Tight end out of the backfield. This is Addison Astrenga. 8 yards. The latest in the line here at tight end U. Here's the defense for the U Albany Great Danes. Their best defensive lineman, no doubt about it. Balansama Kamara, number 0, transferred from Temple. Nico Eberhardt wears number 8. Special story behind that. We'll get to that in a bit. And in the secondary, they really like Irv Wiggins, sophomore from Rochester, number 21. Gronowski's pass is wide of the mark in the direction of Seth Anderson.
Really seeing some good things. Even though there was an incompletion, you got the guys in the backfield. As Gronowski said, that's on me, fellas. You got the backs picking up the exterior pressure coming on the outside. That's good to see from Kamari on the outside there. That was impressive for a young guy.
So it's third down and short. Hawkeyes, as per usual, very comfortable with their offensive line. 3 returning starters in Stevens, Jones, and Dunker. Let's see if they run it. Hawkeye football. Moulton's got the first down. Some things don't change.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but 3 yards will get you first down. Love the tight end wham coming down. Watch 87 come down. He's coming from that short motion position inside. He's going to get that in man on the line of scrimmage and trap that play. Allow Mouton to get in there and do a wonderful job of getting those 3 yards in the first down.
Terrell Washington in the game next to Gronowski in the backfield.
Look at the protection.
Gronowski has to escape. He's got good wheels. Makes something out of nothing. That's a gain of 6, maybe 7. Zakar Morris makes the tackle.
Yeah, that's a good solid 5-yard gain, but it's the ability to subtly move. Listen, there was not a lot of room in the pocket there, but I want you to watch Mark how he slightly turns his shoulders upfield. He comes off the initial read. Again, this is not a lot of wiggle, but just enough to slide outside. That's first of 3 plays on which they've worked on number 9, Sango, on the outside. He got contained and captured on the previous play, and then again getting worked on. They're going to continue to work that side of the field.
Washington still in the game as the deep back. They put Weegan in motion. Washington. That's a good open field tackle. Cam Stodgill.
Yeah, I think right now Tim Lester feels like he can exploit the right side of that field. And you know, Iowa, once they get on board with something, they're going to wear it out. Here you're going to see a base play off the side, short motion to the short side of the field, coming straight downhill. This is just an ISO play to allow the big H-back and the fullback, whatever the tight end is here, there may be 3 different iterations of them. They are basically linemen by extension. They're going to get helmet to helmet with somebody to clear a path for a runner.
Third down and 2. Moulton back in the game. He's got a tight end in front of him. Play action. Open man is the tight end. That's another first down. They've been doing that for a long time here at Iowa. Hayden Large, first catch of the season.
And I got to tell you, partner, listen, I know I'm an old running back, but Moulton, man, he does a wonderful job of picking up this block. It doesn't look like it's a nasty block, but it's going to do much, but it's just enough to allow the quarterback to get that ball out of his hands. Again, just stand in between the defender. That's outstanding protection.
Moulton told us he's gained 10 pounds this offseason.
He's going to feel like it's 10 years at this level, man, because he's not the biggest guy in the world.
First down and 10. Washington's in motion.
Nice.
Design quarterback keeper. Gronowski inside the 25. That's an easy 8 yards.
You know, I just absolutely love this play here. It's basically against an even front. What we mean by that, folks, at home, is usually just 4 down linemen up front. And he sees that. See, the guards are covered. He sees that. He's got a center, an extra blocker. He says, this is easy picking. We've got 3 to block their 2. I'm going to take that anytime. They'll do that same thing, Eric, in the throw game as well. If you see 2 deep corners back here and they've got a chance to throw it or run it, he's going to run the ball.
9th play of this drive. Moulton's got it. Ton of room. Moulton has the first down.
I'll tell you what, playing that hero position, Denzel Patrick came number 2, came up and popped him pretty good, but it wasn't until after significant yards. So here you got an unbalanced front here, stretch play to the left side, and again, Moulton's got the ball in the proper hands, seated outside so he can take that blow, but that's just a big-time spot. Hey, if you're wondering why they call that spot the hero spot, he hits his head on the goalpost if you don't make that play. He's a hero.
2 tight ends in the game, both right side, Ostrenga and Large. More play action. Wide open in the end zone. Good golly, that should have been a touchdown. Sam Phillips was lonely.
Sanogo was on that far side and chased him. He finally stayed at home, and so you're going to see number 9 in his face. Discourages him from running the ball, but he's wide open. What sticks is what they call him. Number 11, they call him that. That's his nickname because of those 2 1s. Sticks has got to be patient, set his base, and understand the rhythm throwing of this system. It's one that Tim Lester's worked on hard to these quarterbacks, and they've got to work it.
2nd down and 10. Washington to the 10. Kamara with the tackle, gain of 3.
Yeah, those were painful 3 yards too, Eric. I kind of like to see him be more instinctive when he comes inside. And again, that's where discerning blocks really becomes difficult. It's really antithetical for a smaller back because we don't necessarily gravitate toward contact. We're trying to run away from it. But this back right here with that offensive line, he's got to trust those big bodies in front of him and find those tough yards inside.
This is the opening drive for Iowa. Already their 12th play of the drive.
Nice.
Dump off. Pass is too high. He was trying to lead Washington.
And that's the second time we've seen Mark off platform is what we call it. When the quarterback is not settled in a position where he's ready to make a complete throw. And as a dual threat guy, you've got to work extra hard to do that.
So the field goal unit will come on. I think now would be the time to tell you there's a new snapper in town for the Hawkeyes. Short snappers 45, Brian Worrell. He'll be snapping it to holder Ty Neeson. Drew Stevens, all Big Ten a year ago, is the kicker. 28-yarder. Standard issue. 3-0 Iowa lead. They would have loved 7, but they'll take 3. Albany with the ball when we come back. Time for today's game flow, sponsored by Progressive. Twenty-second consecutive sellout here at Kinnick Stadium.
Well, you know, it's amazing how the success here can spoil you. You know, that last drive seemed like it was nondescript, but 7 rushes, 5 passes. That's classic balance for Iowa. Took a lot of time off the clock. We're here at 8:51. The opponents haven't even got the ball in their hands yet.
Albany's going to get the football for the first time. Back deep, LaSalle Rose, Caden Birdie. And neither will get a chance to return. It'll be a touchback. Ball to be moved to the 25. All right, chance now to talk about the offense for the Great Danes. This will be the first start for Albany for Jack Shields.
Let's see what jumping Jack Shields has, man. He's got a lot. He's been around a long time. The issue is just only 6 games that he's played in, 2 of them with starts. Again, kind of a various sundry reasons for why he's missed that time. But again, he's been around a long time, so they're hoping that some of that just even being around will help his courage when he comes on this big stage here.
Griffin Whittle is the tailback. Next to Shields. And they start with a pass. Nope, keeper. Shields has got it. Gains a couple. Slammed to the ground.
You know, Jared Ambrose, head coach, he's also maintaining the play calling responsibilities as well.
Let's take a look at lineups for Albany. Offensive lineman, probably the best one's left tackle Emmett Harris. He is from right outside Albany, went to Shaker High School. Backs and receivers, we're going to see a lot of Woodall. We'll see a lot of Jojo Uga. This is a team last year 4-8 overall, 2-6 in the Coastal Athletic Association. Woodall trying to get to the edge, not able to. Deshaun Lee trips him up. No gain.
I'll tell you what, that right cornerback position, he's strong.
Now defensively, the strength of the Hawkeyes is up front. These guys got a lot of experience in Graves and Llewellyn and Herkett. Bryce Hawthorne is a transfer from South Dakota State, same program that produced Gronowski. 3 new linebackers, all guys making starts for the first time. Secondary, the corners, Hall and Lee, with a lot of experience, along with the free safety this year, Xavier Wampa. 3rd down. Pass is caught short of the line to gain. Tavari Groves is hammered. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, had a little pressure there coming from depth. Here's the pressure coming from depth. Watch number 43 on an inside game. The twist on the outside from the defensive end. That was Herkett. Ethan Herkett, the right defensive end, comes underneath and gets him a great shot overhead. Got to pick him up, otherwise he's going to be in your lap all evening.
Albany head coach Jared Ambrose was saying he's going to be the most aggressive team in America, but not this aggressive to go for it on 4th down here in the first quarter.
This is not where you want to test fate, that's for sure.
Caden Weegen's back deep. Weegen has no blockers and decides just to walk away.
Yeah, Weegen wanted to grab that thing.
So we've got a timeout, 42-yard punt, no return. Iowa with the ball in a 3-0 lead when we come back. Welcome back to college football, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. So far, so good for the locals. Iowa leads Albany 3-0. Their first drive, 13 plays, 55 yards, and the field goal.
And it's a great job of Sticks getting behind his pads right there, do an outstanding job of discerning where the opportunities were. But he's got to do this, got to finish the play. Off platform on that particular play, he's got to understand where the open receivers are, and then when they're there, he's got to finish it off. And I think those are 3 things a quarterback's got to do. He's got to be able to discern those threats, call those plays. Even though a play may come in, he may see a front that doesn't lend itself. You don't want to run into the teeth of that, Eric. And so you get out of the thing, right? He has that latitude. He's got enough experience that they trust him in that capacity.
Gronowski working with a offensive coordinator in Tim Lester, now in his 2nd season in Iowa City. Offense was much improved last year from the year prior. 2023 was a disaster offensively. A little shaky on that pitch out to Terrell Washington. Play had no chance.
I'm just not quite sure what Terrell's body position was. And it looked like they were in his lap from a defensive standpoint. It's just a 4-man front, but I'm trying to see if he's trying to read that. Oh, it's on his back shoulder. That's what happened. So Gronowski's got to put that ball in front of him so he can continue his path. He put it on that back shoulder, and he had to hold up and wait till that ball, with guys in his face, too. That's lucky to get out of that situation alive.
Gronowski hit. Penalties called in the grasp. That's a big boy. He's hard to bring down. He was hit hard by Nick Totten. And the ball's going to be spotted at the 17-yard line. That'll go as a sack.
Watch Nick come from depth right here, right behind that goalpost in that area here. He's going to come off that fire stunt. And number 11 sees him, but he can't get help out there fast enough to help him on that particular play. Just a bad opportunity. Bo Stevens, the left guard, sees him, but he sees him too late to come off of it to help his quarterback. That one hurt.
Well, that gives you an idea how big and strong Gronowski is. He's listed at 6'2", 235 pounds, and it takes a bunch to bring him down. And a timeout called by Iowa.
They're first of the half. Timeout on the field.
Okay, so we've got a timeout. It'll be a 3rd down and 18 for Iowa when we come back. Albany starting very aggressively defensively on this drive.
Yeah, Bill in the set, the defensive coordinator, watch him. This is the guy who's on a fire blitz here. He's able to do it because of the guys that are behind him. He comes after he sees this little tight bunch formation. The 2 men behind him are taking his responsibility over with the safety, what we call overhang. And that allows him to get to him once again. The tackle can't see it. Bo Stevens sees it late, can't get out there. And then to add insult to injury, that last huddle was broken with 5 seconds on the play clock. Feel our crack staff got out of the stat.
3rd down and 18, Gronowski. Pays the price. Gained a couple yards back, gets out to the 20, but the punt team will have to come on.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the takeaway from that last series, again, with the management of the clock or lack thereof, the fire blitz, not recognizing that, taking advantage of what you've got to do if you're an undersized team coming in this big stage in a night game. You got to have some success. Gamble a little bit.
So Reese Dakin will come on. Aussie kicker, had a good year last year, all Big Ten performer. LaSalle Rose is back deep for Albany. Fair catch called for. And the Great Danes will start in 31-yard line. The NFL regular season kicks off on Fox September 7th as the Giants take on reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Or the Niners take on the Seahawks or other regional action. The NFL is back September 7th on Fox. Now, Albany a couple of years ago had a very young Jared Verse. Ended up transferred to Florida State and then became the 2024 AP Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Rams.
Yep, he's a baller, no question about it.
But it all started at the University at Albany. Griffin Waddell makes it through the first wall, but not much more. Cohen Entringer makes the tackle, one of the captains. Entringer, the junior from Ypsilanti, Michigan, gain of 4.
Got some good help up there from Josh Gaffney and company. Jackson Nixon was also, that tackle was helping him on that left side. These yards are going to be tough to come by against a Phil Parker defense. There's no question about that. I don't care how many linebackers they're replacing. That front 4 is typically an elite one. As you pointed out, Eric, 10 straight seasons they've been able to produce points and be pretty stout, holding teams at under 20 points a game.
Ooh, that would have worked. Trying to flip it out to the tight end, Carter Moses. He was open. Pass too high. Jack Shields, last time he started a game, September of 2023. He was Old Dominion at that point. Game against Marshall. Spent all of last year at Buffalo, but never actually threw a pass. So it's been a while.
Well, and that year was actually his best year. That was the most production he had that year. Was, I think, somewhere in the order of 430 some odd yards, and it's not a big number.
3rd down. Keeper Shields. Oh my goodness, did he slide in time? He may have slid before the sticks. We'll see where the mark is. I think he's going to be short. He needed 6. He slid after 5.
Yeah, watch Wamka. He comes from that free safety position, number 1, and we'll see where he is relative to the feet. Yep. You know what? I think he's going to be pretty close. He's going to be short, just in front of that wing on that Hawk.
That's where you start your slide.
Yep.
They're going to go for it.
Wow.
This is the aggression that Jared Ambrose talked to us about.
Soft spot on the left side, but the late movement should get him out of this. Get out of this play. Don't run it.
And they see the same thing you saw, Spencer. Albany has to call a timeout. You saw it first, Spencer.
I just saw the nuance in the setup. Again, Iowa didn't necessarily move over, but they did adjust. You can't run into the teeth of the defense.
We'll take a timeout. We come back. We'll see if Albany still decides to go for it. Well, Albany, they're going to go for it on 4th down and 1. It's 4th down and 1 because their quarterback, Jack Shields, gave himself up too early, Spencer.
Well, I guarantee you that Coach Ambrose has talked to him about understanding where you are relative to those markers on the field, right? It's just part of what an experienced quarterback has got to understand to have success. The way this offense runs for Iowa, you're going to have fewer possessions, so every possession you have comes at a premium. You got to get that first down.
So they continue with the offense on the field. JoJo Uga, number 0, is next to Shields.
It's a late overshift. Again, that's what they did right before to call him off on that play. They want to run to the weak side, to the right side. This is a great formation to do it against.
Uga's got it. And Uga oh no, goodness, what a play fake.
Nice.
It's a keeper by the quarterback, and Shields has the first down.
Well, that's what their intent was, Parker, to go to the right side, partner. They wanted to come that way, and it was a nice design fake, no question about it, because Iowa was in an overshift to that side, and it all looked like you would not want to run into the teeth of that. I think it's a great play design, great call by Jared Ambrose.
Shields with enough legs to make it happen, and that is first down for the Great Danes. Ball right smack dab middle of the field. Shields wants a bunch. Nobody home. Looking for LaSalle Rose.
I think the one thing that is really intriguing is to watch this team deal with the pressures that they're looking at that Phil Parker's throwing at them. They know what they're supposed to do. They know their assignment. You see guys coming from far left, what we call detachments, away from the line of scrimmage, understanding there's no one in front of them, so they have the liberty to turn around and help somebody else. That's just good football players right there, and they've got a couple of them. I just saw on that last play. This is a good football team. Jared does a wonderful job of coaching them up.
Shields.
Nice.
Incomplete. All that needs to be caught. He was looking for the tight end, Moses. Good pass.
Yep. Cohen Entringer there, number 4, the strong safety. Watch him, he's in his hip pocket. They've got man across the board. He knows he's got help over the top, but they're going to banjo him. In other words, put it right between the two. But it's basically man coverage across. That's Entringer does a wonderful job of coming down out of that strong safety spot to make a great play.
Would have been enough for a first down. 3rd down and 10.
This is that cover 2 look right here. Middle of the field is the weakest part. Let's see if they exploit it.
3 straight incompletions, and Albany's up against it. 4th down.
Not quite sure why they didn't want to go to the wide side of the field, and that undermines 2 things. This is a pretty stout defensive unit, and remember now, the further you are away from the ball, the longer it's going to take, and the more time the quarterback needs for protection. I don't trust it. I don't care how many young linebackers Phil Parker has. I'm not going to give that quarterback that much time to throw that ball.
Weegan back deep. Returned a punt for a touchdown a year ago. Also returned a kickoff for a tutty. Fair catch at the 14-yard line. So the 3rd possession for the Iowa Hawkeyes, now in year 2 under offensive coordinator Tim Lester. Last year was, well, you had Cade McNamara as your starting quarterback beginning of the year. He transferred. You also lost Caleb Johnson, who was a stud running back. A couple offensive linemen are gone. For the most part, the offense was a success in the first go-around under Tim Lester. You compare the numbers between 2023 to 24, and virtually an uptick in every category.
I think what Tim is looking for is leaning and banking on the championship success that his quarterback has had. But to this point, at least in this game, in this first quarter, he's had some struggles with executing the plays.
Gronowski. And he led his man too much. That was Jacob Gill.
You know, and after a while, and I'm counting them, there's like 3 times where when he gets flushed out of the pocket and has to run, it's really difficult for him if he's off platform to make those throws accurate. And what happens if you're a defensive coordinator, you are playing the game in your head as well. So let's say, the strategy becomes get pressure, keep him off platform, and let him beat himself with his mistakes. And you've got to be curious of that. How do you beat that? Complete a play or 2 off schedule.
Play action. Pass is low, caught up the shoot tops by Seth Anderson. Anderson makes a man miss out to the 30. That'll be a first down. 15 yards for the senior Anderson.
I like the play going to the wide side of the field to make them cover the breadth and width of the field. So watch Gronowski come out, play fake, the ball is out. Nice solid throw on platform, safe throw for the most part because you're in between the sideline and a sure-handed guy that plucks it off of the shoelaces there. That's a nice pitch and catch, and what you need to do is stack those on top of one another.
For those of a certain age, you may recall
The ruling.
Seth Anderson's father was Flipper Anderson. Oh, this is going to be looked at. Okay.
I thought he picked it up off his laces. We shall see.
Jim Wary is our referee. This is a Big Ten crew.
All plays under review during the game are brought to you by Hawkeyes Credit Union.
All right, this is being reviewed to see whether that was a catch or not. Let's check in with Dean Blandino. Dean.
So this is going to be the key. Spencer mentioned he caught it off his shoelaces. Well, did he catch it off his shoelaces or did he catch it off the ground? That's a good look there. And again, he has to have firm control before that ball touches the ground. And that's going to be the key as we're watching this. Right there, it's tough to tell if there's enough to change this to incomplete.
Dean, I'm seeing what you're seeing. You know that crumb rubber?
Yeah.
You see that rubber bounce like that? That tells you that more of the ball hit the ground than anything else. And that when you see those little black pieces start popping up there, the ball had to hit the ground. So
well, that's a good point. Yeah. Could it be the ball, or was that his feet as his feet were dragging? Again, it's really close. This angle probably isn't going to give us a definitive look. We're kind of looking through the body. This is your best look right here.
Yep.
Now the call on the field was completion.
That's going to be incomplete, though. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, Dean's the expert.
Yeah, that's the shot there. It doesn't look like he has control of it before the ball touches the ground.
The ball hit the ground prior to the catch. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10, 15-yard line.
Okay.
Well, nobody knows the anatomy of the call like Dean knows. I mean, he knows it. I'm just looking at it from an anecdotal standpoint of all that rubber. When I see that come up, I'm saying that ball hit the ground.
Well, Spencer, catch or no catch, it wasn't a very accurate pass.
Yeah,
and that's been an issue right now for Gronowski in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10. They need to get to the 25. Incomplete. Looking for KJ Parker. Good close defensively. That was Irv Wiggins. Talked about him early on. He's from Rochester. Just a sophomore, but he has got a bright, bright future. Breaks that one up. It'll be a 3 and out.
And, partner, here's how I see this performance so far. It's like compound interest, right? The more you do something that you should be doing correctly, incorrectly, it increases the confidence of the defense. That was the big question coming in. Could this guy step up at the next level and have the same kind of mad consistency he did at the SCS level? To this point, you have to say it's a difficult truth. No. He's 2 for 8 right now.
Fair catch called for, made at the 31 by LaSalle Rose. And Albany will get the football back. That was a 54-yard punt. A net 54 with no return. That's not bad.
I mean, just say this for the record. I think this quarterback is going to be great. He's going to be fine. No question about that. He just needs to get settled in.
Yeah, another caveat, too, with Gronowski. This is his first game action in a while. Didn't get a spring ball. He had an off-season shoulder injury. Says he's 100%, but you still got to get your reps in.
Yeah, he took the plays in virtually and played the game, as it were. And again, it's true. I mean, the rules off the field are affecting how teams prepare these days. So not everybody's doing a lot of hitting anymore, but live work can never be replaced.
Keeper Shields picks up 4 on first down.
Got a jet formation here, trying to catch the influence, and they do get one Hawkeye pin on the other side to come through, but that misdirection is not enough to get significant yards.
Underneath a minute to play here in our first quarter. Low and caught.
Yep.
Caught by Josiah Barron. That's another first down for you, Albany.
Yeah, TJ Hall, number 2, was squatting at the corner spot over there. He's camped inside with his eyes inside, but he turns all the way around. I think it's an unnecessary move on his part. I think TJ Hall, poor technique here. I think he's a foot closer to where the action needs to be if he doesn't spin and turn. He's got help over the top.
First down run, Uga to the 45. Xavier Wampa pushes him out of bounds.
That's a pretty confident play, right? Run power into the short side of the field. That's pretty impressive.
And that's going to be the final play of our first quarter. We have played 15 minutes here in Iowa City. It is a 3-0 lead for the Iowa Hawkeyes over the UAlbany Great Danes. And one of the great traditions in all of college sports, not just football, all of college sports, it's the Hawkeye wave after every first quarter here at Kinnick Stadium.
I'll tell you, this is so emotional. This is a very significant moment. Wow.
Welcome back to college football, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. With Spencer Tillman, I'm Eric Collins. Start of our second quarter, UAlbany. They haven't gone away. They're not afraid. They've got the football down just 3-0 against the Iowa Hawkeyes. It is second down for UAlbany. Great Danes being led by Jack Shields, his first game at UAlbany.
Now I understand why I was thinking about Dustin Hoffman last night. I just kept waking up out of my sleep. I couldn't figure out why. Holy cow.
Griffin Waddell in the backfield behind Shields. Now next to Shields. Passes low and caught.
That's a heck of a throw.
Sliding catch made by Barron.
And I'll tell you what, Jack Shields was under pressure, folks. You had an all-out blitz, and all it takes is 5 to constitute a blitz. Watch it come from pressure. You had a directional call on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th man comes from depth. And that ball is in there, I'm telling you.
19 yards. Waddell.
That'll be a penalty, partner.
There's a flag down. Haven't seen many of those. I'm not complaining. That's the first flag of the game.
Illegal formation.
Yep.
And players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You got to have 7 on the line of scrimmage, right? So if you got more men, and that's all that side judge is doing, is counting how many people are off the line of scrimmage. You can't be in no man's land. You got to do that. You can't make that mistake. Jared understands it. He's an offensive mind. He's retaining those play calling responsibilities. So that's on him down there. That's 7 now.
So it's 1st and 15. Waddell out of the backfield. Gain of 2.
Been working on TJ Hall out there at the corner. He had an injury, kind of bumped his knee. It's kind of split some time with Rashad Godfrey. And watching him in practice out there, he looks fluid, looks like he's moving, but the fact that they're attacking him the way that they are tells me a little bit of something about what they feel they can get accomplished over there. Let's see if they go after that side of the field again.
Alex Dretch comes into the game. He replaces Woodall in the backfield. Second down. Shields. Caught. Open man inside the 15. Caden Birdie's first catch of the day.
And partner, who do they attack on that left corner position? TJ Hall. He's sitting there squatting, and he came off of that. Again, I love the design and the scheme. Everybody's eyes are pointed into the backfield, right? You can see their tight end is up front. He gets a nice job to help block. He's free. And then this is an off-schedule play here. But they work it against that cornerback in that zone and finds a hole there, and they're headed to the end zone, man.
So they've had a 19-yard gain and now a 27-yard gain on this drive. Shields. Caught at the 10-yard line. Entringer with the tackle.
That was Zach Luntner, too. He's involved in it from that strong safety position. You'll see him and Cohen Entringer in there as well, number 4 and number 6. They are active on the back end, but they're on the doorstep now. So you're going to see more pressure when you get down in this green area. Of course, green is 5 yards in, 20 is the red zone. Everything gets compressed. So you're going to get hit faster with more urgency, and you've got to execute to counteract that.
Ninth play of the drive.
Nice execution.
Dredge to the 4. Short of the line to gain. They'll bring up third down.
I tell you what I'm liking, what I'm seeing right now from Jared Ambrose. Distribution up the field. The first few plays to get him down there were to the right side. Now we come back wide to the left here, and they're making Iowa defend the total breadth and width of the field. And when you get guys cognizant of that, you're going to have some opportunities.
Third down and 2.
That guard
and movement on the line.
That tackle moved.
That's going to go against Albany.
Was that right side? I thought it was Jackson Nixon, may have been that right tackle, 64. Yeah, the guy inside of him. So you had this Josh Gaffney.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So that's a kick in the pants for Jared Ambrose. Has to go back to the call sheet. Had been 3rd and 2. It's now 3rd and 7.
Well, one thing on the big stage you can't do is have those self-inflicted wounds. You know, you're at a decided disadvantage coming in here, but you can't hurt yourself. Nice, got him.
Plenty of time. Back of the end zone. What do we got? Touchdown. LaSalle Rose. And the Great Danes jump ahead. What a drive.
That was an outstanding drive. And again, great execution by Jack Shields, the quarterback. He has plenty of time and protection. Everybody's manned up against this directional call, and he's not really on platform, moving away, and throws that ball back across his body. What an unbelievable job of execution on that play. And again, LaSalle Rose Jr. just does a wonderful job from his X position to catch that play.
So second quarter, and Albany leads Iowa. James Bozick, the extra point. You betcha.
Wait a minute, you got a flag. I think you got a flag here. There's going to be movement up front on the defensive side as a late move.
Pretty good start for Albany here in Big Ten country. They lead Iowa 7-3. They scored a touchdown on a 9-play, 68-yard drive.
How about the man call here, right, as we double box this thing? Everybody's man under, one guy is free. So what does that mean? You have got to hold your own. If you get beat on the inside on a dart, you're going to end up giving up points, and that's exactly what happened on that play. 11 plays, 68 yards, 4 minutes and 51 seconds takes it off the clock. And again, that's brave execution down in the opponent's red area.
Spencer, Iowa started with the ball. They've had 3 possessions. They've got 51 total yards.
Wow.
On that drive alone, Albany 104 yards, 68 yards, and 104 total yards in our ball game. So they have twice the amount of offense here in our first half that Iowa does.
And the longer that goes, the greater the confidence builds. And again, you hear me say it ad nauseum, confidence comes from demonstrated ability. If I'm Jarrett Ambrose, the head coach, offensive coordinator, I'm telling this guy, I say, look at this. Who's scoring? Who's moving the ball? Guys, the stage is not too big for us. Let's go get this thing.
Caden Weegan.
Oh.
And that bounces inside the 1. That'll be a penalty.
Kick out of bounds.
Didn't make it to the end zone before it went out of bounds. It was still in the field of play.
First down.
So the ball be taken to the 35-yard line.
I didn't need to use the wedge on that one. I should have gone with the 9, and I got a little bit more loft on that one. It just spun and kicked out, didn't it?
Spencer, last 2 drives for Mark Gronowski and the Iowa Hawkeyes, both 3 and outs.
And alternately, the same thing goes. You got a quarterback who's established, accomplished on the FCS level, struggling here in the early go. What we say off the top of the show, Iowa is a slow burn team. If you look historically, you'll see that at the quarterback position where that's manifest most.
Xavier Williams, best run of the day for Iowa, out to the 49 to pick up a 14.
This is Iowa football right here now. Nice ISO play again. Get all those big linemen on the pulling and reaching. Scoop box up front. A good back with instincts, doing exactly what we talked about in our meeting yesterday with him. He's got great vision, reading those blocks, assisting his linemen.
First down at 10, fresh set of downs.
Nice.
Williams, another big gainer. Inside the 30 to the 25. Back-to-back huge runs for Williams. And they're going behind that new left tackle into the game. Jack Dotzler has replaced Trevor Locke.
Partner, I absolutely love the way he comes in there, and he's creating a competition context between Kamari Moulton too as well. Between the two of them, they're challenging each other. Great inside running capabilities, a north and south guy, a nice counter to what you get from number 28. These guys right here together can cause problems. Now they need to get that confidence and get it into the end zone and get their quarterback in the throw game on track.
Trevor Locke started the game at left tackle. It's been replaced by Jack Dotzler. Not a surprise. We were told they're going to alternate. Gronowski's pass is complete. Short to Seth Anderson. Denzel Patrick, a quick tackle after a gain of 5.
And one of the things I'm noticing about Albany, what they're doing, Bill Nassett, the defensive coordinator, is playing with leverage. In other words, he's not going to let anything get outside of those guys. When they come in, they've got their heads across the bodies, and with help over the top, not going to see that outside. So again, the best way to attack them is between the hashes, I think. So use those tight ends that you're famous for here at this institution to get up the field.
Washington has the first down.
Yeah, if I'm grading him, partner, I'm saying low man wins. It's 7 yards, but there's nothing lucky about the way this finishes. When you finish with your pad level higher than the defender, this is physics right here. Low man wins. You can't win that battle. Great 7 yards getting it, but down here you got to earn every bit of it, man. Get those pad levels lower, and you can win those battles.
Zach Ortworth and DJ Vanami come in as the tight ends in this formation, along with Addison Estrenga. So 3 tight ends in the game for Iowa. Washington to the 6.
Tell you what I like, the moxie of Joe Camara. Thomas Joe Camara, he does a wonderful job of coming up, number 7, sticking his nose in there. Watch him get physical here at the end of this play. Here, boom, he takes it on the shoulder, but that's what you need to do to finish.
We have not seen Kamari Moulton on this drive. Xavier Williams next to Gronowski.
Now, Moulton is the smaller of the two backs, and that's one of the reasons you haven't seen him down here getting close to the green area.
Quarterback run, Gronowski. He can do that well. He scored 37 touchdowns on the ground at South Dakota State.
Well, when you asked him the question yesterday about who is his favorite quarterbacks, you know, he didn't hesitate. He said, what, Tim Tebow and
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick, right? You saw little Tebow right there. Urban Meyer can appreciate this. He'd love him, man. He got those shoulders down and punched it in there, and just shows you exactly what he's able to do.
5 rushes this possession, just 1 pass.
Let's see if he's got a jump pass in him.
Xavier Williams, touchdown Iowa. Hawkeyes getting back to Iowa football, that time with the football.
Well, this is just great Iowa football right here. Look at all that big heavy meat, inside trap block. Even though it gets blown up and there's really nothing there, the big fella goes and sticks his nose in and creates his own cushion. Sometimes you got to do that. Williams does a wonderful job of making something out of nothing. Those guys try to do it, but Albany did a great job of squeezing that down, making it tough.
Stevens makes it a 10-7 lead for Iowa. 7-play touchdown drive. Iowa getting it done on the ground against Albany. Iowa back on top of Albany, 10-7. Last drive, best of the day for the Hawkeyes. 7 plays, 65 yards. 60 of those yards on the ground. Xavier Williams, a big factor.
Well, he's the heavier of the backs, and he's in there for a reason. Again, we'll unpack that with Kamari Moulton is out with an injury situation, so they're going to the big fella inside, and it's serving them well. He's basically putting the passing game on ice right now, and I'll take this any day because your quarterback has been struggling through the throw game, and so as a result, Williams now 3 carries for 44 yards. And you talk about judicious, a touchdown, I'll take those numbers any day. That's Iowa football.
Xavier Williams giving me Sean Green vibes.
Yeah.
They may need him more than they thought today. Just informed that Kamari Moulton is out for the rest of the game. We thought was going to be the lead back for Iowa. Will not return after getting 3 first-quarter carries. Returnable for Rose. Never really got started. Poor field position for Albany.
Well, partner, just to put a cap on what we just saw there on the run game, you know with Caleb Johnson, this was going to likely be a backs by committee scenario for Kirk Ferentz, and he understood that. And so I didn't see anybody, to me, in some of the prep tape that I looked at, that would necessarily be the guy that would be the guy. So it's going to be a backs by committee scenario, and certainly now with Moulton out with the injury.
First 2 drives, not so much. Last drive, yeah, a lot. Albany coming alive. Can they keep on keeping on? Griffin Woodell in the backfield. He'll leak out, catch the pass from Shields, and gain a handful of yards on first down. Well, tackle made by Jaden Harrell.
Eric, the body motion of this quarterback, and if you have to attribute this to exactly what Coach Jared Ambrose is doing. His quarterback is opening up to affect the linebacker play, and it's just enough to allow that trailer, in this particular case, the safety is trying to track that slot man, but he's a beat off because he's opening up and mirroring what the quarterback is doing. This is excellent football design that you see here.
JoJo Uga is the back in the backfield.
Nice.
Keeper for Shields. This time doesn't slide too early. He's got the first down. Out to the 32.
Listen, I know Will Hawkeyes, technically the offensive coordinator, the guy kind of puts things together. Jared's calling those plays, but what I'm noticing right here, he's putting that All-American academic status to play in the formation of these plays. This is some of the most creative stuff that I've seen in a long time from this program.
Yeah, when Jared Ambrose was asked why he decided on Jack Shields as his quarterback, he said he's got game. I'd agree. Knows how to play. For someone not a ton of experience, he looks awfully comfortable here in our first half.
And I think the system is what you attribute that to. Again, a guy who has game, if you give him the proper structure and function, he can exploit that. Again, just look at the counter to that. What Phil Parker has done over the last 20 years has been absolutely astounding. With guys who aren't necessarily the best athletes, that's not a comment or commentary. As an analyst, that's just an observation. Nobody does more with average talent or even good talent than Phil Parker. They're doing the same. Albany is on offense, at least tonight. Nice.
Oh, a flea flicker. There's a flag down. Looking for the whole ball of wax, passes too strong, and we'll have to sort it out.
There's usually either going to be a holding penalty or...
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second time we've seen that penalty against Albany in the first half.
Absolutely. You know, they got 5 guys in the backfield. You have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. Again, as you look up, you can count those guys off real quickly. And they've got to catch that the coaches do on the sideline to understand what's going on. You talked about how Jack Shields has control and command of this offensive scheme. He can get some help from the sideline on that formation stuff.
So they march him back. It'll be second down and 11. Blitz. And they force an errant pass in the direction of Barron. It's now 3rd and 11.
I just ran out of time on this one again. Phil Parker's defense, a nice what we call directional cars. Everybody is moving to the right side. It's called a starboard charge. Star, star, star. Everybody moves in unison to the right. If it's going to the left, nautical term. Port, port, port. Everybody moves one man over. And it's just a way to kind of give the quarterback a false read of what he's seeing. And again, it really works better in the run game than it does to the throw game.
3rd down. 4-man rush. Shields gonna run it. Bad idea. He gets clobbered, pushed into his own sideline by Xavier Wampa. Gain of 6. It'll bring up 4th down. And I'm assuming Albany's going to punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt, but boy, they certainly are making this Hawkeye defense a little bit tired than it wants to be. Watch it. These guys are flailing. The big fellas are trying to run. Aaron Graves looks like a lizard panting on a hot rock, man. He's out there salivating.
Albany wants to be aggressive. Their punter is Owen Lawson. Gets it away, spinning kick. Weegan on the run.
Whoa!
Look at Weegan. Caden Weegan making something out of nothing to the 39. That's a 17-yard gain for the All-American.
Looking like Tim White, baby.
Wow, high praise.
Timeout on the field.
Weegan earning the scholarship. We've got a timeout, Iowa football, when we return. Iowa scored a touchdown last time they had the football. They've got a chance to back it up now. First possession, field goal, take that. Then they went backwards and stayed still. 2 possessions. The last one is one they want to think about more in positive thoughts.
Well, one of the things they've got to do is settle in to what they do best. I mean, again, one of the things Kirk Ferentz has talked about all week long in building up to this game is I'm not quite sure what we have, right? So we'll see once we get into real-time situations, and then we'll adjust accordingly. I think right now, because of the injury situation to Moulton, they've got to rely more on the run game. They're going to do that anyway, but I think it's going to become featured now.
Kamari Moulton, we are told, not going to return to the game. Moulton, the starter at running back, has been replaced by Terrell Williams, or Washington, and Xavier Williams. This is Washington. Flag down. Spins out across the 45. Ron Holmes on the tackle.
That's some good vision there by Washington. He's only about 206, 5'11". That's probably stretching it.
Offside. Defense, number 9. Lined up in the middle zone. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Abraham Sanogo.
But you can see Abraham's
penalties
on
declined.
that right there.
Result of the play is 2nd and 1.
You can see those hands are down. He's in what we call a semi-wide 9 technique. Usually they get kind of at an angle where they can see and pin their ears and come back, but he was just literally on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
So Kirk Ferentz decides that 2nd and 1 is better than 1st and 5. I agree.
Yep.
Washington can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he does, but not past it. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, if you're going to try these corner cat blitz, watch Irv Wiggins Jr., number 21. He comes in and just get hammered on that opposite side. You can see him there. He gets blocked out of the play, and that could have busted out on the edge if he had really made a mistake and just couldn't get to the ball carrier from his position.
Gronowski's a big boy, 235 pounds. He'd be hard to stop on a keeper. Pitch out. Williams. He's got the 1st down and then some. Man, a touchdown. Xavier Williams to the 10-yard line. Biggest play of the game for Iowa.
Well, you know, we saw Denzel Patrick, number 2, playing that hero position, right? But now Jaden Estes, number 10, is going to be in that hero position. And watch him. He settles. And the problem is he waits and gets stutter stepped on. Ball is placed in the proper hand on the outside, so he has it free to block him. That's a wonderful job of running.
43 big ones for Williams. Now looking for the end zone. Dragged down at the 5. He is knocking on the door of 100 yards. All of it coming here in the 2nd quarter.
You know, the big mistake that Jaden Higgins made trying to stop him is he paused and gave him a cushion in between himself and the boundary. He should run and put his head across the body and just trust his help to come behind him, but never give a back like that a 2-way go and stay on his inside shoulder.
And for this series, Trevor Lauk is in at left tackle. So they're alternating Lauk and Dotzler at that important spot. Gronowski. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I like what they're doing there. They're just trying to create more flow away from this quarterback. They're going to expose him, and he's their guy, right? If you're going to expose him to getting hit, you want numbers flowing away from him. And so the motion that they showed on that play, it was just a great job of Tim Lester just creating something that would get numbers away from their big guy.
Well, we've made it to the 2-minute timeout. We've got Iowa knocking on the door. An important 3rd down and goal when we return to Iowa City.
Coming up on the State Farm Halftime Show, Texas and Ohio State came down to some late game drama. Number 8, Alabama struggling on the road in Tallahassee. Plus 22nd ranked Iowa State dominates ahead of next week's battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Eric and Spencer, see you fellas at the half.
Mike, my man, for years, nobody has done it better. Thank you. We will be watching.
Sarge.
Yep. And Iowa State team already 2-0, and this is still the first half of the first game for Iowa.
Man, I've been bullish on them for a long time, going back to last year, and I just think Matt is one of the best coaches in the business. A lot of people came after him. He chose to stay.
3rd down and goal. Ball's at the 4-yard line. Tight end Estrenga's in the backfield. It's a quarterback keeper. Gronowski is ridden down at the 2. Heck of a tackle made by Thomas Joe Camara.
That's one. He had a bad outing last time when they were back up here, but watch the safety from the free safety spot. Camara come up in there.
Timeout.
His nose, man. He just does a wonderful job. I'm telling you, the guys were laying the wood there.
Timeout. Please reset the game clock to
We were talking to the coaching staff for Albany, and they were talking about Thomas Joe Camara, and they say some guys like to tackle. He likes to hit.
Yep, he really does. He plays the game with a chip on his shoulder, and that's one thing about him that we talked about in our meetings. And I said, what is this kid's disposition like, Coach? And he kind of paused a minute and said, yeah, well, he definitely likes to hit, and there's no question about that. Kid's had a tough background, upbringing, but at the end of the day, he is a classic gentleman on the field, off the field. But when you push him wrong and he gets upset, he's coming after you. And that's really what you want on the defensive side of the ball. You know, a lot of guys can play like Jerry Glenville say uncontrolled idiots, but that's not what you got to do.
Iowa's got their offense still in the field.
How about that?
Oh, my goodness. On 4th down and goal from the 2, this is some new school, Kirk Ferentz.
Well, this is how you line up and you say, hey, look, we're going to – the last 12 plays were runs, only one pass. I think they're going to run this one.
Xavier Williams in the backfield next to Gronowski.
Clear it out.
They want to pass.
Oh,
Good golly.
God. Wow.
Wonderful decision. It's a touchdown. Caden Weegan. On 4th down and goal from the 2, new school Iowa throws it to the end zone, and they lead 16-7.
I love this play selection with Tim Lester and Kirk Ferentz. I guarantee you has some input in this. They haven't had success throwing the ball, so they've run it predominantly, as I mentioned, 12 consecutive times. So you come out in a formation that looks like a run, but you get man coverage and just say, hey, pitch and catch, man.
Drew Stevens has been automatic for years on these extra points. No reason to change now. 17-7. First touchdown pass for Gronowski as an Iowa Hawkeye.
Well, again, there's nothing crazy about this. You know, those 3 points that we talk about, what you've got to do as a quarterback, come to the line of scrimmage, discern where the threats are. You've got time to do that one. He places it exactly where it needs to be, down, low, and away, where the catch can be made, but away from the ensuing defender behind him. And he's got nothing but man coverage behind him. All you got to do is be accurate, make a play.
That's nice to see Weegan do something there as well. He's a grad student who's known mainly as one of the best returners in the country, if not the best returner. But there's going to be some opportunity this year. Just earlier this week, a real tough pill to swallow. Reese Vanderzee, freak injury during practice. He's going to be out for a while. So some reps available at that receiver spot.
Well, Vanderzee was the guy that they're going to rely on to add some maturity in that lineup again, because they've lost a lot. Again, when you combine that with what they lost on the defensive side of the ball with Jay Higgins and company, Caleb Johnson, the running back, those were key losses that they lost. They needed some guys. There were other guys like Brendan Sullivan. If you go all the way back to 24, Jackson Stratton, they've had guys that have been contributors that they needed to replace. Now you're starting to see guys step up and make plays.
Deep into the end zone, that'll be a touchback. Ball to be taken to the 25. The IndyCar Series rolls into Nashville for the season finale, where Alex Palou looks to cap his historic campaign. That's tomorrow, 2 Eastern on Fox. Well, don't go to sleep on you, Albany. They have been a pleasant surprise, I think, to the 70,000 here at Kinnick Stadium. They haven't rolled over and died. They've had some impressive moments here in the first half.
Well, they've played effectively. They've been aggressive in the red area. They've made some individual plays, which is what you have to do. I've been impressed.
Quarterback Shields 8 for 13 with a touchdown. Wants to throw, has a man, caught. Good start to the drive. That's Caden Birdie.
And partner, another thing that they've done is they've handled the pressure up front, and the quarterback has thrown several times and completed passes like that under duress. You can see again, away, you see an edge rusher come on the outside and did a wonderful job of just blocking that aggressively. That's Jackson Nixon, the tackle number 64, blocks that pressure and extends the corner so the quarterback has time to throw.
2 catches, 52 yards for Birdie. Ball's at midfield. Pocket collapses. Shields goes down. That's Llewellyn. Max Llewellyn, first sack of the year.
And I think Jonah Pace was involved in there as well. Llewellyn is the guy that gets credit for it, but watch 91 on the inside of the nose. He gets the arm over, and he just does miss. And but for the fact that he closes off the other option that Will has, he doesn't make that sack. So, again, he's going to get an assist on that play for funneling the quarterback that direction.
Clock continue to move. Design quarterback run. Shields to the 48. Jaden Harrell with the tackle.
Yeah, and Aaron,
we're under a minute to play first half.
Yeah, Aaron Graves, number 95, the left defensive end, just tackled, just did miss on that play. And again, they're going to continue to move down the field, and Jared's looking for the right play to make this thing work for him.
Thinking about timeouts. Albany with 1, Iowa with 2.
Trips formation to the wide side of the field. They can get a nice little natural pick here on an out cut. Nice throw. You got to get it out quick, though. No, you're not going to get anything better. Got to get it out.
I think they're just bleeding clock. They don't want to give it back to Iowa at any time. Knocked down. Deshaun Lee with the pass defense. Clock stops, 22 seconds remaining, second quarter.
I'd have took that trips, man, to the bright side of the field any day. You've had some success with man coverage. Again, that bunch formation, they were playing them straight up man. You got to trust one of your guys to make a play against that. I mean, there's all sorts of natural picks that can occur. It's one of the toughest formations to defend. And I know they've got the IP, the intellectual property, and the capital to be able to make those kinds of decisions. They've shown us tonight they've got it. I bet you they wish they had that one back again.
Owen Lawson to punt it away. No pressure. Ball bounces and more time will come off the clock. And this just ensures that Iowa will take a knee. 39 yards on the punt. It's a net gain of 39. Good job by Lawson. And I can't imagine a world in which this isn't just a kneel down for
Absolutely.
Iowa.
Go in at halftime, adjust, get your second win, as Billy Joel would say. Don't forget your second win. Come out and try to get a win.
Story for Iowa in our first half, not only the debut of Mark Gronowski, but also losing Kamari Moulton, who much was expected of in the first quarter. Haven't been told exactly what the situation is, but we were told that he will not return. Xavier Williams has filled in admirably. So it's not a kneel down. Instead, they give it to Williams, who barrels forward for 2 yards. And that'll do it for our first half of play here in Iowa City. The locals will take it. Albany put a scare into the Hawkeyes, but Iowa punches back at Albany, but not successful in terms of the passing game being productive.
And that's got a problem, you know, because we came into this game, if you were to say, let's say 4 days ago, that by the game kick in the second half of this contest, you're going to be without probably your best, as the ball comes out, your best receiver and your best running back, you wouldn't give them this much of a chance.
Dangerous play. That was LaSalle Rose, who lost it, got it back, and then was popped, paid the price.
Well, we know Iowa for special teams play. That's what they do, right? This was kind of self-inflicted, though. Got to get the handle on the ball. The coverage unit down there, quick as a hiccup. That ball slips right through, hits him on the thigh pad, and those Hawkeyes are flying all over, man, coming down, doing a number on him. Again, you got to seat that ball properly and run at it coming your way. Never wait for that ball to finish and come in. You can't be running forward toward the ball. If it comes out then, so be it.
All right, Jack Shields, he's taking every snap at quarterback for Albany. Senior from Centerville, Virginia. First year in the program. Last year he was at Buffalo. Design rollout, throws behind his intended receiver. Actually may have hit the DB TJ Hall in the backside.
Well, you know, if you're running in that situation and if you're Birdie and you're that slot receiver, you know what? It's man coverage. You got to give yourself a little bit of a cushion because that quarterback is throwing the ball to your back shoulder. It's man coverage. There's only one guy on you. You can sell that fact that the ball is going over the top and just suddenly stop and help your quarterback in that situation.
Second down and 10. Griffin Woodell in the backfield next to Shields.
They got the right number of men. You got to get on line. There you go. They got it down.
Blitz. Forces a quick throw, and the throw is high. Third down and a bunch.
Well, that was high for a reason. Again, you had pressure in your face. Carson Sherrar did a wonderful job of coming in there. Watching number 43 on that inside stunt. Gets right in your quarterback's face, man. That's how you affect the quarterback. Sometimes you can't get home and get the sack, but you can affect the quarterback. That is the trajectory of the ball. Maybe it's not thrown with great execution and not on point.
3 new starters at linebacker for Iowa. So far, so good. Third down and 10. Just a 4-man rush. Shields underneath has the tight end who's close to the first down marker, but Moses is going to be a yard short. Jared Ambrose told us he's going to be the most aggressive team in all of America. Do you go for it on 4th and 1?
Well, I don't know if you do that backed up right here. I mean, listen, I'm all for it, but you got to punt this ball away, and I think they're going to do that.
I'm calling fake. I think you may fake it. That's another form of aggression.
You're a gambler, man. You're a gambler.
So the punter is athletic. It's Owen Lawson.
Let's see if he makes some work. You got a directional punt this. I wouldn't do it to the short side of the field, though.
That was almost
That's
touched.
terrible.
Not exactly what the Great Danes would have drawn up. 35 yards, no return. So we'll keep it here as Iowa comes out offensively for the first time in the second half. Let's talk about Mark Gronowski and what you've seen so far out of 2 quarters from him.
I've seen some mistakes early in this contest, but again, for the most part, what they've tried to execute has been helped by the scheme and the plan that they have. You saw there was a steady rate of him getting the ball out from under center and out of his hands to complete passes. You got to be able to discern the threats. What's he done? Call the right play. It comes in from the sideline. If you're running into the teeth, get out of it. And then, of course, you have to execute. As the game progressed along, he did a great job of that.
No Kamari Moulton. It'll be Terrell Washington in the backfield. Washington tripped as he crosses the 45 by Cam Stodgill. Gain of 7.
Or here's a nice, against a 3-man front with pressure from depth. It could have been an ugly play, but because everybody erased their positions, in other words, the threat was nullified by excellent play up front. They did a wonderful job of closing that out.
Just saying, but Iowa did not commit a penalty in the first half.
That's impressive.
Tight end Hayden Large moves from one side of the formation to the other. Washington short of the first down marker, tackled by Irv Wiggins.
Well, Hayden Large did a wonderful job of, he did what he could do, and if you're a back, you've got to wait on him and be cautious. We talked about this to their starting running back, Kamari Moulton, yesterday, that if that guy doesn't get out for whatever reason, he gets tripped up or just maybe things are mushed up, wait on him a little bit. Use your timing. And then if you have to use your instincts, abandon, get to the edge. This is a great job of football right there.
Wide open formation here on 3rd down and 1.
Trips to the field.
Design quarterback run. 235 pounds of Mark Gronowski gets the first down. That looked like Tim Tebow.
I love the play call. We talked about and saw this earlier. You've got the numbers away. It's trips to the right side of the field. Let's load up that side of the field and then try to get a numbers advantage to the opposite side. That's exactly what they did. Run away from the numbers, and the big fella's going to win most of those battles inside against those, we call them pencil necks back in the day, those little smallish kind of defensive back or hybrids. That quarterback is the size of a linebacker.
Fresh set of downs after the gain of 13. Xavier Williams. Next to Gronowski. They fake it to him. Quarterback keeps it. A little bit more running for Gronowski than I thought. Kirk Ferentz is making it sound as if he needed to protect his quarterback first time out, but I guess those protections have gone out the window here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the Great Danes, if you Albany is going to help them out by running straight past the quarterback like they did on that play, and I can appreciate the fact that there's a good mesh point and a nice fake, but the would-be tackler just ran right past him.
Iowa keeps alternating their left tackles. We've seen a lot of Trevor Lauk, who started the game. We've seen a lot of Jack Dotzler. 2nd down and 5. Play action. Gronowski running out of time. Zakar Morris was the man pressuring, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Give it to that nose tackle. That guy's almost 300 pounds, and watch number 92 flush him out here. Again, he's got 2 men on him before he comes off of that, and just shows you some of that lateral ability. He's got help on the backside. Abraham Sanogo helped him out, but the combination of the two forced the errant pass.
3rd down and 5. Iowa usually not too frisky, but this could be 4-down territory.
Got an even front. This is, to me, another running scenario for your quarterback if you want it. You got it. Just a 3-man front, an odd front. The numbers work in your advantage. Run it.
4-man rush. Coming out of the backfield. Catch is made by Williams. And he uses that 225-pound frame to lean forward to the marker.
I think he may be just short. Did he get it? No, I think he's going to be short on this. I like running against this front. It's an odd front. And what we mean by that is there's only 3 guys on the line of scrimmage down. So you got 4 guys, 5 technically, to block those. that's an advantage for you. You got them spread out, balanced formation.
So on 4th down and a yard, Hawkeye's going to go for it. Power formation. And Gronowski is pushed forward. That's the Hawkeyes version of the tush push. It's going to be hard to stop. 235 pounds of Gronowski going forward with Hayden Large doing work behind him.
There he comes. Big tight end comes across the formation, gets right behind him. Little red caboose, baby. You guys know what a caboose is?
Sure, the rear end of the...
all right.
Yeah, they actually got the Hawkeye Express here.
Yeah, that's true.
It goes right next to the Kinnick Stadium. Eighth play of the drive. Washington.
Oh.
Speeds across the 25 to the 21. Took a hit from Thomas Joe Camara.
Yeah, he loves to come from depth from that free safety position, and he put a whacking on him, man. It was a hard-earned 6 yards on that play. But as you pointed out, partner, Thomas Joe Camara came all the way from that safety spot. And watch him just lay the lumber on him. Boom! And got him shoulder down low. Good, clean hit.
Some people like to tackle. Other people like to hit.
I tell you what, you got to be careful from that back angle. It looked like that might have been the helmet too. He looked like he was lower than he was, but
2 tight ends in the game for Iowa. What's new? Washington. Just rolls over the defender. Gain of 5 and another first down for the Hawkeyes.
Well, they're attacking your boy over there, Joe Thomas Camara. It's the second play in a row they came after him. He likes contact. I want you to take a listen at this, folks. We're going to run it for you for full speed.
Oh, my goodness. No, thank you.
Well, that'll make you change your mind right there, boy.
Clean out your sinuses. Washington listed at 5'10", 208. Iowa's got a lot of good football players over the years from the state of Texas. He's from Wiley, Texas. Gronowski flips it out in space. Washington. Nominal gain. Cam Stodgill a tackle.
Nominal gain, but I'm seeing some really quality execution by the Hawkeyes. I mean, just the up front, Bo Stevens, what we call an if block. And all that means, partners, is if you're not covered, you can open up and then feel some other responsibility, particularly if you're aware of what the defensive structure is. He immediately did both. Came out to his right because he was not covered or occupied by someone else and provided extra protection for his quarterback.
I'd like to give a shout out to Bo Stevens. Coaching staff was as well. Very happy with his personal growth as of late. Gronowski, slant, bobble, caught KJ Parker. There's a flag down. Didn't catch it cleanly, but it is a catch for now. We'll have to figure out the flag. Remember, Iowa's not committed a penalty today.
I think she may have had her high heels on that one right there. Denzel Patrick was coming across there pretty stout.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Had to come to an end. That's the first penalty of the year for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Jennings, dunker.
Well, this play is the last in this series right here. Watch him come out, 87. Nice reach block. He tags, makes sure, then goes up inside. I'm not quite sure.
We had a fun conversation with Jennings Dunker yesterday. You asked a really important question. I just asked him, hey, are you a dunker? He goes, heck yeah. Been able to dunk since he was a 9th grader. He now weighs 315 pounds, and he can do whatever he wants with a basketball. That's cool.
I floated a nickname for him. You know, he's got that red hair. I call him the Big Ginger. Right? He kind of looked and winked at me. I said, Big Ginger.
All right, this is very similar to the first drive of the first quarter for Iowa. Taking a whole bunch of time off the clock.
Was this 8 plays, right? Something like that, 7 minutes. There've been just, it does mirror exactly what we saw in the first quarter. And again, and that's exactly what you don't want if you're Albany. You're trying to stay in this thing.
Now, one thing we know about Gronowski, he knows how to win games. 49 collegiate wins and 55 collegiate starts. Third down. Pass is caught. That'll be a first down. Jacob Gill. First time we've called his name all game long.
Well, then the first time we called Jaden Estes on defense, he's got man-on-man coverage responsibility on this play. And this play right here, Gronowski is in sync himself. He's looking at that wristband, but I'm going to tell you, this is execution is born out of reps, whether they're mental or otherwise. See him on platform there? That ball's releasing out on that front toe. We talked about how important footwork was with Tim Lester. He's got command on that particular play there.
Jacob Gill had 35 catches a year ago, now has 1 in 2025.
Oh.
Washington trying to push that pile. Down to the 1. Troy Burswinger with a tackle.
Troy shows you folks, you youngsters out at home right there, we call it each one reaches one. It's about gap integrity. Everybody has to feel a responsibility, and he did on that last play right there. Outstanding defensive job. It looked like it was going to open up, but he came and filled that hole quick as a hiccup. Troy was on the spot on that one.
2nd down and goal. Ball's at the 1-yard line. This will be the 14th play of the drive. Keeper, Gronowski, touchdown. Did that 37 times for South Dakota State. That's his first rushing touchdown as a Hawkeye.
Timeout on the field for an injury by the offense.
Sticks is down. Is he down?
That's Gronowski who's down.
Uh-oh. Ah, crap. Hopefully it's just a cramp. But here you can see you got 2 backs in there to block for you, lead block, and he's basically a linebacker with those sticks on him. Gronowski took a shot there. I think he is injured on the way down. He's hurt right now, so he goes down, and let's just hope that it's just a tightening of a muscle or something. It was a long drive, consistent action on that drive. Oh, man, I hate to see that. Oh. Well, the good thing is they've got both legs up, so that could be just cramps.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor,
No.
but it's not particularly warm today. Temperatures got to be now down to the low 70s. We started at 78.
Yeah, but you know, there's a reason why you're drinking this good water up here, man. You can get dehydrated quick out there on the field. Those long drives he's been on, particularly this last one, you can lose water pretty quick.
Yeah. My mother grew up in Iowa. She said you take a spoonful of salt before you go out in the field to work for the day. That's what they did in Iowa 80 years ago.
Yeah, he's walking well now. That's good. Good to see that. What a fine young man.
Oh, a pleasure talking to him.
Oh, salt of the earth.
He's got an undergrad and a master's degree from South Dakota State, both in mechanical engineering. Asked him what he's taking here at Iowa. He said, you know what, I had the luxury of taking what interests me. So he's just kind of enjoying himself and trying to make himself a better person of the world in his 1 year to spend here in Iowa City. Welcome to Hawkeye Land, Mark Gronowski. The Hawkeyes lead 24-7. Welcome back to college football, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. Iowa leads Albany 24-7. Another extended drive for the home team. 14 plays, 60 yards, 8 minutes and 29 seconds. That's a whole bunch of time taken off. Mark Gronowski has made it to the sideline, Spencer. He's got the headset on, but it looks like he's still trying to stretch out. He's not sitting on the bench with his teammates. He's prone on the ground.
I think he's going to be okay, but I think, and more importantly for right now, since we know that he's okay, it's the optics of how this game has taken a turn for the positive, and Kirk Ferentz understands that, and I think this is going to be a quote-unquote, more time on the clock, of course, but a win from them from the standpoint of what they need to do, given they've lost 2 key players.
Albany, the Great Danes still the pulse. They'll have the football when we return to Iowa City. Next Saturday, the place to be is right here in the great state of Iowa. The Cyhawk Series takes center stage. All starts 10 a.m. Eastern with the best pregame show in college football, live from the campus of Iowa State. Then Rocco Beck leads the Cyclones in a showdown against our rival Iowa. Big noon Saturday, only on Fox.
They leveraged that win in Dublin and came back and looked pretty impressive.
They've been doing this since 1894, partner. Iowa leads the all-time series. I'm sure they love me hearing saying that. 47-24. That's not even really close. Last season, though, Iowa State, bragging rights, last moment field goal to win it by 1. If Iowa can win, they would double their pleasure. 48-24 all time.
Important game, man. Big time.
JoJo Uga in the game next to Shields. They fake it to him. And Shields, maybe not the best decision. He smoked Carson Shire with the tackle.
I'm just laughing at these guys on the defensive side. I think they're making plays as Merriweather Kenneth, 44, was in there. Thought he had made a play, but he ended up being his battery mate getting in there. Shahar, who actually made the tackle.
Yeah, one of the 3 linebackers replacing the departed Jay Higgins, Nick Jackson, Kyler Fisher. 3 brand new starters at linebacker this year for Iowa. Pass is low. Was it caught? I think it was. Yep. Catch made by Caden Birdie. This Great Dane team has done a lot of good catches on coming back for the ball and scooping it up off the turf.
Yeah, that's where, I call it from a runner standpoint, assisting your lineman, but now receivers can assist their quarterbacks. Come back to the ball. He's under duress. He's throwing off that back shoulder. And again, it's tough. You're not going to be as accurate as you would be if you were not under duress. You've got to understand the context of the game.
Well, they just decided that wasn't a catch. Officials got together, and the original official who made the call was overruled. So the ball's placed back at the 25. It'll bring up 3rd down. Pressure. Shields. Pass was behind Tavari Groves. And it'll be a 3-and-out, I think. You're going to punt the football if you're Albany.
Yeah, you got to do it. As we say in the hood, man, pressure will make a pipe bust. And that's exactly what happened on that play. Pressure is coming against this 4-man front. You actually got a guy outside that does stand up and then eventually rushes. So technically it's not a blitz. It's still just 4. But it's that imminent pressure that causes Shields to throw off his back foot and put him in a bind, incomplete.
Iowa Hawkeye defense stepping up. They forced back-to-back 3-and-outs here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if Weegan gets a chance here. Kid's got a ton of wiggle. Wow, what a bounce that was. Still rolling. Good golly. All the way down to the 14-yard line. That was a boot and a half. Started off pretty darn ugly, but ended up a glamour queen. 65 yards. Oh, my goodness. So the Iowa Hawkeyes will have the football when we return. Now, this is probably what the Iowa faithful expected. They're now leading Albany 24-7. 4:16 remaining 3rd quarter. Iowa's going to have the ball back, and they'll probably go to the ground once again. It's been super effective today.
Well, they've been effective mainly because they've had to do it, and this is what they do. Williams with a great job of running after he gets the ball seated to get as much yards as he possibly can, shifting that ball to the outside. And then when they needed to put it down on the ground and just lower their shoulders and let the big quarterback do a number. He did his Tim Tebow impersonation and got him a couple of touchdowns as well, and then just followed his blocking up front. That's what you do. He went down with a little bit of we think, a muscle kind of tightness, but hopefully he's all right.
Gronowski back into the game, pitches out to Washington. And Washington follows his blocker to the 27-yard line. Spencer, do you feel it would be important for Gronowski to get a little feel to his passing game here before he leaves the game? He's only passed for 40 yards.
Well, I like the formula, and it's one of those that takes a while to work. I think what Tim Lester has done is given him an opportunity to not be under immediate duress, and then all of a sudden the attention focuses to the run game, and those numbers are away from him. Now he can pick his choose. 13 straight runs, and then all of a sudden one pass play. Well, no pressure on that pass play. No surprise that he completed it. Picking the right moments to get the quarterback to throw the ball is the key.
Another carry on the ground. This time it's Xavier Williams. The rotation at left tackle continues for the Iowa Hawkeyes. We've seen Trevor Lauk and Jack Dotzler. Jack Dotzler's out there right now without a nameplate on his jersey. He's got a clean number 71.
Well, here's a nice little Stretch play to the weak side of the field. You got a lot of guys. And if you can get this kind of yards on the weak side of the ball, listen, if the full range of the playbook is open for your disposal right now. The big fella up front is ready to help out.
He's going incognito without the name. I love it. He's playing for the number in front of the jersey, right? Not the name on the back. Good scoot in the hole by Xavier Williams. He's got a little wiggle there. And it's a 1st and 10 ball at the 45.
A great block by Zach Orthworth, number 48. Watch him move across the formation. He's sitting there in an up position. Watch him come underneath and then kick out, search, and destroy. You don't have a shot to block him back there. There's Jarrett Harrell, the middle linebacker, gets pushed all the way. Jaden Harrell, the middle linebacker, gets pushed all the way back. No match. About 40 pounds, giving up a differential there.
2.5 remaining here in our third quarter. Washington spins out of the first tackle, can't get out of the next. This has been a remarkably well-played season opener for both sides. We've seen just a handful of penalties. We haven't seen any turnovers.
Well, one thing that I'm noticing is how Albany populates the ball. I mean, within close proximity of the ball carrier or receiver, there's 3, 4, 5 white jerseys around them immediately, man. And that lets me know, I don't care what the scoreboard says, our guys are still giving the effort that's needed to compete.
Albany a year ago, they were 4-8, 2-6 in conference play. They're from the Coastal Athletic Association, that is FCS Football Championship subdivision. Of course, the alternative to that, the Iowa Hawkeyes Football Bowl subdivision, FBS. If you're old school, it used to be 1A and 1AA back in your era, Spencer.
My era. You're right, though.
Back then, the Big 8 was actually made up of 8 teams.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Little rollout. Pass is complete to the tight end. Zach Ortworth has the catch and another first down for Iowa. And it looks like Gronowski again is a little bit gimpy in the backfield, and he falls to the ground.
Down again. I think he's just, he's cramping up. That's what it is. He's got that right hand pulling that toe up, trying to keep those big old calf of his stretched out.
He's got a friend there, Jennings Dunker. Maybe he's pre-med. We've got a timeout on the field as Gronowski's being looked at. We'll come back in just a moment. .111 remaining third quarter. Iowa's on offense, but they don't have their quarterback Mark Gronowski out there with him. He has had to leave the game twice. He's been looked at to just falling down. We're probably dealing with cramps, nothing confirmed. So we're going to see Hank Brown come in. Hank Brown, listed as from Nashville. Spent his last 2 years in high school in Nashville, but he's actually a native of Illinois. There have been some good quarterbacks to come out of his hometown. He is from Wheaton, Illinois. That is the same hometown as Hawkeye legend, the great right-hander, Chuck Long.
But he comes over from Auburn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he's transferred from Auburn.
Yep.
But he is from the Big Ten footprint. He is a Chicago kid from Wheaton. Hands it off to Xavier Williams. Gronowski is leaving. Doesn't look like he's going to come back anytime soon. So a little bit more about Hank Brown. He played 2 years in high school in Nashville, where his high school coach was Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl winning quarterback Trent Dilfer.
But I know that Hugh Freeze didn't want to let him go, but he did, and he recruited him hard. He's a really good talent. Just got caught in a numbers game.
He looks the part. 6'4", 215. Inside handoff, Williams. It'll bring up third down, and that'll probably be the final play of our third quarter.
It's really interesting. I mean, I guarantee you this is probably the first time you can say this in the history of Iowa football. All 3 of their quarterbacks on the depth chart are transfers.
Oh, my, you're right.
They're not homegrown.
Yes.
They're all transfers. I mean, that's, of all the schools you would think would not have that as a stat, they do.
So we have indeed made it to the fourth quarter. 4 fingers in the air here at Kinnick Stadium. It is a 24-7 lead. The Hawkeyes on top of the Great Danes. Welcome back to college football, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. Start of the fourth quarter. Iowa leads Albany 24-7. In total, we've seen 4 touchdowns today, Spencer.
Well, it was impressive early on. The Great Danes stay with them for a little bit, but in this third quarter, total yards, Iowa 115, Albany 10. That kind of lets you know how much they control the game. It was total and complete.
Hank Brown in the game at the quarterback position with Gronowski out. Nothing official on what's keeping Gronowski out of the game. It appeared as if he's dealing with some sort of cramping issue. But this is a great opportunity to get Brown some minutes. Transfer from Auburn. Oh my goodness, they're going to go for this. This is going to be a field goal attempt of 55 yards. What's this all about?
Why not, man?
Oh my goodness, Drew Stevens going to attempt a bomb. Got to get ready for Iowa State next week.
That's right. I was getting ready to say that.
Did he?
Yeah.
You bet. Oh yeah, Drew Stevens, 55 big ones. That's what I'm talking about.
Timeout on the field.
I think Drew had a little draw on that, too, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like it was a bender.
That kid's got a leg, man. That kid has got an absolute leg. A thunder thigh. 27-7 is our score. Drew Stevens, the best to ever come out of North Augusta, Georgia, with an absolute bomb, Spencer. 55-yard field goal. That's the 9th time in his career he's hit a 50-yarder.
Well, being from Augusta, you'd expect that he have a nice draw as he did on that one, and it came in and split him, man. That's just a wonderful job. Hey, look, I love the idea of getting it all on tape because, again, you got the style coming up. Those guys down the road need to understand that you'll take it in these situations. Just something else to think about. They're turning into what started a sluggish finish into a sluggish beginning into a strong finish.
Stevens kicks this one off, and that kick actually went exactly 55 yards, just like his field goal.
Nice.
Tripped up is LaSalle Rose. That's a heck of a special teams play. Shaheed Barrows makes a tackle. Could have been a huge gainer for Rose, but denied by Barrows.
Yeah, watch number 5, Barrows, come down here and make this shoestring tackle. This is just great effort, man, on his part. Upfield, he knows the guy's got speed, but he says, you know what? I've got technique. Knows he's got a little army behind him. Nice job of sacrificing himself.
All right, Albany. They're going to stay with Jack Shields as their quarterback. Why switch? He's actually been pretty darn good. Not much of anything here in the second half. 3 and outs each of the first 2 times they had it. But the first half, he was impressive. Underneath, catch made by Tavari Groves.
Yeah, they're working Tavari on a shallow crossing route, and I'm not so sure it's going to get you a whole lot down this much. You know, it's going to open up some things, but unless you're going to take advantage of that wide side of the field, to me, I think it's a waste of your formation. Find a way to get the ball downfield and work this against this cover 2 scheme. To me, somehow in the middle of the field, you got to get the ball there.
Second down and 7. They put the tight end Stephen Mahar in motion. And they run behind Mahar. Alex Dredge to the 25. Albany, next week they will be on the road against Delaware State, the Hornets. When conference season begins, they will play in the Coastal Athletic Association. A number of years ago, they changed the name. It used to be the Colonial Athletic Association, the CAA. Still is the CAA, but the C stands for something different these days. It is actually technically not a conference. It's actually an association. So a little difference between the Big Ten Conference and the Coastal Athletic Association. Third down, just a 4-man rush. Oh, that could be a penalty.
It is, definitely, got to be.
Yep, it is. You can't do that in the middle of the field when everyone is watching. It's going to be a penalty on Jaden Harrell.
Yeah, Jaden Harrell was all over the receiver on that particular play. And again, Alex was streaking down
Pass
the
interference.
sideline.
Defense, number 41. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Spencer, I want to ask you, linebacking play. We've talked ad nauseum. For Iowa, no Jay Higgins, Nick Jackson, Kyler Fisher, 3 starters from a year ago at the linebacker spot are gone. Your thoughts on how they're going to replace them this year?
Well, I don't think you can replace him. And by the way, great story, Higgins. Made the Ravens squad just an unbelievable emotional narrative with that whole deal. Phil just continues to put great players, even though they don't have the great statistics in terms of measurables. The system helps them do great things. This unit will be the same. They will be outstanding. They will be well coached. They won't make mistakes, and they'll be highly productive.
Quick to the ball. Look at that spread out. Eventually, T.J. Hall with the tackle.
And the reason why I feel that way, Eric, is because, the scoring defense is what you look at. I try to look for bibliography and footnotes to support this. For 20 consecutive years, they've been in the top 20. The last 10 years, they've been in the top 20 in scoring defense. So when you look at what Phil's been able to do, consistently produce that tells you something about the greatest ability is dependability. We know that from a player standpoint, but also from a defensive or offensive unit standpoint, it holds true.
That's a loss of 3. Shields. That is a short gain. They pick up the 3 that they lost a moment ago. Caden Birdie with the catch.
I'll tell you what, that was Ethan Burkhart, the right defensive end. They bend the corner about as well as anybody bends it, man. Those big guys, and when I'm talking about bending the corner, number 49, Ethan, he's the opposite side of that, but that's Shahar right there. But when you watch it, Ethan Burkhart, he will bend his knee. He's a big dude, man. He's about 65, 70 pounds at least. When he can get that kind of speed upfield and still be vertical and then bend, not very many people can block that.
3rd down. Shields goes down. Absolutely smoked. Ball comes loose late, but they're going to say he was down. It was Aaron Graves who got it.
Field his progress.
Well, you just watch this 3-man front right here, then watch number 95 get some help from his friend, his battery mate on the opposite side, and then Graves buries him in a grave on that play right there. Just a great effort play, converging from both sides of the line of scrimmage. Now that's outstanding.
Graves, 6 sacks a year ago, gets his first sack this year. First sack as a married man. He got married this summer.
That?
Yeah.
He's getting after.
I think that ball was touched. I think the ball was touched. The ball still gets out of there and will take a friendly bounce for Albany.
I don't know how it got out of there, man. It didn't sound like a poo-poo, but I don't know how that ball got between the wickets. Wow.
We think this was touched. It still went 36 yards, but it looked to me like it was touched.
Yep.
Kirk Ferentz, this is your life. The dean of Big Ten coaches. His first win at Iowa came back in 1999 against Northern Illinois. More to come. He got 100 against Michigan State in 2012. And most recently, number 200 came against Washington last October. He's sitting on 204 wins as a Big Ten head coach. Only one man has more, but he's about to join him. Woody Hayes, the all-time winningest coach in Big Ten history with 205 wins as a Big Ten head coach. Got them all at Ohio State. He has one more win than Kirk Ferentz, but Kirk's knocking on the door. Oh, by the way, Amos Alonzo Stagg, all those wins coming at University of Chicago.
Ah, very nice.
The Maroons.
Kirk still looks good, doesn't he?
Handsome really man. He's fit.
Yep.
I think if I had a 10-yard lead on him, I think he could catch me from behind.
Hey, he might could. He's got
Jazzian Patterson, his first carry of the day. Welcome to the ball game, Jazz. Junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. Comes into the game fresh and rips off a nice gain on first down. Still no Mark Gronowski. He was relieved last time that Iowa had the ball. Hank Brown is the signal caller.
Well, they've got some depth at the running back position, as we talked about. We know that Bolton went out with an injury, and they've got Jazzian and others. We've seen Washington. Reverend Dole is also available.
Patterson. Bounced around. Gain of 3. New lineman coming in, 64, Leighton Jones for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, this is another one of those plays where it's a great effort to get there, but pad level, finish. You got to finish with your pad level lower than those big guys. Those big guys, if they get underneath you, Man, I'm telling you, it's one of the reasons why a jack can work, partner. It's short and stout, but it can lift something much greater than its weight because of his position. It's underneath.
.925 remaining. Three straight carries for Patterson. Another first down. Patterson comes from Pompano Beach, Florida, went to Deerfield Beach High School. That's the same high school that produced Big Ten legend Denard Robinson, who most of you know as Shoelace, the old Michigan quarterback.
Very nice. Great nugget. By the way, that last run reminded me of Edgerrin James. Slow to, fast through. You see how he searched down the line of scrimmage. When he found that opening, boom, he hit it. Slow to, fast through. It's a great asset right there to have.
Brown wants to throw. Dangerous pass.
That was
almost
dangerous.
picked off. Somehow made its way to Seth Anderson, who's down to the 34-yard line.
Well, there was pressure on a corner cat blitz from the far side of the field, but that really did it. He had a time, did Brown, to try to make a cross-field play, a long one. This is a big-time next-level throw right here. And he got it there, man.
Hey, Nathan McNeil's going to get some burn. True freshman from Tampa, Florida, number 25. He's in the backfield next to Brown. Nathan McNeil. Hey, first collegiate touch for Nathan McNeil. And he's going to be close to the line to gain. Spencer, do you remember your first carry as a college back?
I don't remember my first carry, but I do remember my first touchdown. I never will forget that. I was against Ohio State.
What? Oklahoma and Ohio State was your first touchdown?
Yep. Keith Jackson was calling the game. Saw my wife in the end zone and asked him who that was. Guy kept the football. I said, let's find out who that is over there. Here's the ball back.
Oh, that's awesome. Was the game in Columbus or was it out in Norman?
It was in Norman. Yep.
Playing on a big crowned field back in the day?
Oh, man, you heard about that?
Going downhill?
It served us well, man.
If you're on one of the sidelines back in the day against some of those teams like Nebraska and Oklahoma, if you're on one sideline, look at the other sideline, all you can see is basically the neck and head of everyone on the other side.
I'd say the kneecaps. Sometimes it seemed that way, but the teams that didn't like it were the ones who were non-running teams, and which was rare. It was the Big Eight back then, right? So you look across the field, the passing teams didn't want it because it literally affected the trajectory of the ball. But for us, it's like running downhill, man. It's an advantage.
Another carry for McNeil. Nothing there. He's actually thrown back for a loss. Thomas Joe Camara. He's had a nice day. And we've got an official down.
Timeout on the field.
I didn't see anybody run into him. I hope somebody ran into him. Pray on that.
Timeout on the field.
Okay, we've got a timeout on the field. 6:45 remaining in our game. Now, a scary moment. Roger Day is the umpire, and he's going to get run into by number 5. That's Jacob Gill running a route for Iowa.
Saving grace there. Jacob's only about 180 pounds, and I'm being serious when I say that, because if you get hit dead in the back by a big guy, man, that's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, but Rogers on his own 2 feet and headed off to the sidelines, actually in the tent right now. So he's being attended to. So
that's good.
Hopefully he is A-okay. Second down and 11, trying to get to the edge. This is McNeil. This kid's got some good speed.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
We had a chance to go to practice yesterday. We watched, and he splashed a little bit. For a guy who wasn't on the depth chart, we said, this guy may get some playing time just because he looks good in the uniform.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he's got some speed, but the defensive front, I'm so impressed with Albany's speed. They can run and chase, and that was one of the things that we thought that they would leverage more, but they're still getting after it, man.
It was 2 years ago that Albany went to the FCS semifinals. They were in the Final Four of the FCS playoffs. Now, last year was a down year, and they lost their head coach. But it wasn't that long ago. This was a really good program at the FCS level.
Oh, nice read.
Patterson, he's been a workhorse this drive, inside the 10 to the 8.
Love Patterson searching down that line of scrimmage. Watch him get parallel to the line of scrimmage and then turn it upfield once he sees the read and the leverage up front. Outstanding job of that offensive lineman. Wyslinski was the one who got in front of them and then made that little seal block, and he cut underneath it.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of subs on that offensive line. Michael Wyslinski's got some playing time. Leighton Jones has gotten some playing time. 10th play of the drive. It's been all on the ground.
Oh.
Patterson down to the 1.
This is Iowa Hawkeye football right here, pound and ground, man. This will get them feeling the way they need to going into that Cy-Hawk showdown.
Cannon Leonard's going to come into the game as an extra lineman. Cannon Leonard, number 75, is 6'9", 310 pounds. Good golly. 6'9". And you can see him left part of your screen. He just head and shoulders above everyone on that line.
He's huge. He's massive.
I bet he's had it made right before. 2nd down and goal. Patterson trying to move the pile. Did he? No signal. Nope, didn't get in.
On the field is short of the goal line. 3rd down.
Opening day for the fans. They thought he went in. You got to wait for the signal, folks.
But that was a nice. Watch 75 Cannon Leonard you just mentioned. Watch him turn out here on this little 9 technique. He just kind of turns him out. That's all you need to do. You don't need to bull him out, but he got kind of scooped from underneath, but he got a great position on the guy and widened it out to give the runner some place to go. I mean, usually when a guy is that tall, you worry about leverage working against him because he's, you know, he's high pocketed. He's so tall. You can get underneath his pad level.
High pocketed.
Yep.
Flag is down. No signal. They rule it a touchdown. Touchdown, Iowa. There is a flag down.
A little pushing and shoving going on.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. The result of the play, touchdown.
So a touchdown drive engineered by Hank Brown. And the Hawkeyes continue to impress here in the 2nd half.
Well, we know Mark Gronowski can run the ball, but what can Brown do for you? How about a little push? Yeah, that'll work.
So both Gronowski and Brown rushing touchdowns today. And that caps off a 12-play, 66-yard drive. In classic Iowa Hawkeye fashion, they burned 6 minutes and 54 seconds off the game clock. They had 12 plays, 11 of them were runs, just 1 pass.
How about that, man? That's the script you follow right there. You do what you do well, and that builds confidence, man. That is the identity of Iowa. It will continue to be. If they can augment it occasionally with the pass, that's probably going to be the formula that they use. They are who they are. And until things change, they're going to stay with it. You know, we had that conversation with Tim Lesson as we look at Piper and all that.
Oh, we're showing him for a reason. That's Cade Pieper, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what he is known for off the football field. The Hale Bay Bale Championship. You got to throw, I think it's like a 50-pound bale of hay.
And it's not
high in the air. He got it 13 feet over that crossbar.
That's incredible.
Is that unbelievable? So he's won it 2 consecutive years now. Jennings Dunker did it the previous 2 years.
What is it, like 55 pounds each one of those? 100?
Don't you know how much a bale of hay
45 to 55 pounds.
Yeah.
A bale of hay. Wow. That's incredible.
He didn't do a lot of that hay baling,
and I stayed away from that farm
in
thing
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And the wind was sweeping down the plains. I didn't fool around with that hay, though. I left that to the Cowboys.
Another touchback as the ball makes it to the end zone. It has been total domination for the Hawkeyes here in the 2nd half. Next Saturday on Baseball Night in America, Jose Altuve and the Astros going to fight for the AL West crown against the Rangers, or the Giants take on the Cardinals, or it's Twins Royals. Check local listings for the game in your area. Next Saturday, 7 Eastern on Fox.
Altuve.
What a career for Jose Altuve. Wouldn't have made it as a football player.
Nice short guy.
But a heck of a baseball player. Total offense, second half. 180 yards for Iowa, 5 for Albany. Spencer, take me inside that locker room. Kirk Ferentz, win number 205 as Iowa Hawkeye head coach. What's going to be the first theme out of his mouth when he addresses his team?
Resiliency. Guys, we came out here, we had a plan, wasn't quite sure what and how it was going to develop, but you rallied and became who we are today. I think it's early, but we found ourselves who we are. We're going to run the football. We're going to manufacture success. We're not going to make mistakes. We're going to play clean. That's our identity. If we do that, we're going to be satisfied with the results that we get. I think that's the central message there.
Should any of the Iowa faithful be upset or worried about the fact that your graduate student quarterback, Gronowski, goes 8 for 15 and only 45 yards passing?
I think that's a fair question. I think there's legitimate concern. If you believe if you can get outside the conference, and again, remember, we're still in the Big Ten, so most of the people you're going to face, we saw it in the Ohio State, Texas game. Those are going to be hard-fought battles, fairly low-scoring affairs, I think, for the most part. If you can play the Iowa brand of football that we saw today against the juggernauts in this conference, you're going to have a shot. Again, those low-scoring affairs can be very dangerous positions to be in for teams that are highly ranked in particular. So I like where Iowa is right now. Didn't like how they started, but I like how they finished.
Shields thought about running, and that's just a bad idea. And Kenneth Merriweather makes the stop. Sophomore out of Detroit from famed King High School in Detroit.
And again, with number 44, if you contend to play like this, you can see him standing up on the outside here. A nice little ET stunt, in-tackle stunt. He's playing in a tackle spot technically because he's standing up. So whoever goes first is the one you get the first initial. If the end goes up, it's an ET stunt, and he comes underneath that and gets a great hit on the runner. Outstanding job.
You're in midseason form, man. Coaching me up, man. TE stunt, ET stunt.
That's right, man. Trying to phone home.
That's the fourth 3-and-out forced by Iowa. Booming punt. Oh, my goodness. Inside the 5. Sam Phillips picks it up. Wide open field for Phillips. And Phillips still on his feet. Finally forced out of bounds at midfield.
Yeah, I think it was. He didn't get a flag, but boy, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because that was a nice job of running, but I think that collision kind of happened out of bounds on that white strip there.
So just a real goofy play there as a massive punt is uncorked inside the 10-yard line and then returned to midfield by Sam Phillips. 34-7 is our score. We have made it to the 2-minute timeout. Loving it. Fun here at the old ballpark, right? Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City, Iowa. We have had a real nice performance in our opening day for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Mark Gronowski, probably not spectacular. Didn't have the passing day that he would have liked, but he does throw for a touchdown. He runs for a touchdown, and he leads this offense that had enough offense, particularly on the ground, to take down anyone they're going to really see. If they can perform like this on the ground, 311 yards rushing yards, that's big time.
I'm happy with what you see in the end. Ultimately, you're disappointed if you don't have a pathway to move forward. I think they know who they are. I think they know how they're going to win and how they have to win. A minimalist approach, can't make penalties. They played clean tonight, you know. Very disciplined team as well.
So we're under 2 minutes. Nathan McNeil remains in the game as the back.
Ball's out.
And a snapped, bobbled snap.
I think Albany's got it.
Did they really?
Yep.
Iowa could have just taken a knee and this game would have been over. Albany wouldn't have called timeout. That's the first turnover of the game.
You know, I call it the element of recency. What you do last, you tend to remember most. We just praised them,
is a
and then this happens.
covered by the defense.
And I'll tell you why this play happened the way that it did. Okay, you talk about, well, it was just a mistake. This mistake didn't just happen. It wasn't self-induced. It was the push up front by this defense in front of Albany that got in the backfield. That's what made the difference.
It's recovered by Abdul Ashalake, senior from Philadelphia. Good job. Still playing. Why not? Got a minute 44 remaining. You can still make a difference.
You give me a guy that's got effort and won't shut the motor off, I'll let him play for me any day.
New quarterback? Nope. Still going to be Jack Shields. Jojo Uga. Brian Allen on the tackle. So Iowa's going to have 6 days.
Yep.
A week from today, they're going to be in Ames, just up the road, taking on Iowa State. What's going to be important in that one?
Well, again, you certainly have to play clean, and both of these ball clubs, look, we know that the two great wide receivers are now in the NFL. That doesn't mean that they won't take a shot at Iowa State, but they are a team that understands, like Iowa does, who they are. You know, Matt Campbell's going to run the football first. That's his desire. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 9-7 ball game. That's just kind of the way these guys roll.
It's a bounce pass. Caitlin Clark did a lot of that here in Iowa City, right? The bounce pass?
Yes, she did.
She shot it more than
She's
passed
a
it.
legend, man.
Yeah. She was seeing the faces on some of the people. I was walking around town. I was like, did Caitlin Clark play here? She played at Iowa State.
No, you did. Did you really?
Oh, my goodness. People thought that I was nuts.
You got courage, man, if you did that.
Incomplete pass stops the clock.
Offsides.
No flags. Nice hands catch made by the tight end Carter Moses. Moses from Michael Jordan's hometown of Wilmington, North Carolina.
How about that?
He's got a long way to go if he wants to be the best athlete to ever come from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yep. Hey, besides Iowa State, this may not look terribly daunting per se, but after that on the back end, they finished with some strong in-conference opponents. So I think this schedule could be arguably a top 15 in terms of strength. And they could buoy them well down the stretch.
Seems like whenever Iowa can beat Iowa State, that bodes success for the Hawkeyes. When they stub their toe against their in-state rival, times are tough. There were 4 Hawkeye defenders surrounding the receiver.
Well, that's because Shields didn't have a great opportunity to throw that ball on a solid platform. And again, the coverage was moving along with the receivers, so it just wasn't much of an opportunity.
18 seconds remaining. Both sides do have 3 timeouts if that's something they're thinking about. Well, if you're going to run the ball there, that's probably going to be the final play of the game. Jojo Uga is going to finish us off. And it will be a 34-7 final. The Iowa Hawkeyes defeat Albany. The Great Danes go down. Great Danes actually had a lead of 7-3 at one point in the first quarter, but a 31-0 run ends it for the Hawkeyes. And Kirk Ferentz, congratulations. Now with 205 career wins as a Big Ten head coach, he is tied with Woody Hayes.
It's been a pleasure, partner.
For my partner, Spencer Tillman, and our entire